Hi everybody, welcome back to those who've been hanging with me some time, and welcome to those of you who are new to my channel. I'm Adele Levine, intuitive and medium. Okay, so I'm just going to get a little stuff out of the way before we start this video. Just wanted to let you know that I'm offering two things this month. One's a kind of an event, and that's an online seance that I did last month, and due to popular demand, meaning everyone kept asking me, when am I going to do this again? Honest. And I was like, of course I have to do this in October. That is up on my Instagram or my website, adelelevine.com, and that will be this month, and I think October 23rd. I know October 23rd. And also I am doing a class this Saturday, October 10th, on how to open and heal the heart, which I talk a lot about here on this channel. We do need to learn how to open and heal the heart in order to open our sight, as our sight is connected to feeling. And lastly, I am still offering during these very interesting times 50% off of all my readings still with the code PEACE. Okay guys, I know this is a month of October and I'm a medium, and I know of course I really was going to do a video on spirits and all this kind of stuff and the veil, and I was going to do fun little stuff, but if you've been following me at all, or if you're new to me, you will find that I do have to be real and talk about things that I see that are affecting people. I do readings and I talk to people. People DM me, people email me, and I've noticed that this is something that's important and needed, especially right now, and that is about energy and how to sense energy, because a lot of people are feeling a heaviness because we are in a very, very heavy time right now. And I want to speak about this because yes, normally it would be fun to just talk about Halloween stuff and to go down that route, and I definitely want to do a video maybe sometime this month, of course, or two. But I do really want to comment when I feel intuitively, and this is what I tend to do. There's one thing when you say, am I going to do a video that people kind of feel, you know, is cool and popular, or am I going to do a video on what I feel people really need? And honestly, that's why I started doing this channel, because I want to put out stuff that I feel people really need, and I tend to feel and observe and sense what is really needed. Now, I don't think you have to be psychic, intuitive, or a medium to see that the world is going through a very, very dark time. However, I do feel that sometimes when we get used to things and we say, okay, here's another thing going on and here's another thing going on, and we tend to kind of just deal with it and we push through our days and we do what we need to do, we almost forget that it may be affecting us. You understand? And I've noticed that people are not realizing that a collective energy that is getting smaller and smaller around us kind of feels like the walls are closing in and there is no light to be found, that it starts to affect you and you forget, because maybe you're being diligent and you're pushing through and you're being strong and you're finding ways to lift your spirits and you're doing the work you need to do, you're getting things done, and you aren't letting yourself feel kind of like a victim, I guess. Or it could also be you're just like, whatever, what else can happen? There's so much going on, there's so much coming at us that you almost start to become immune to it or numb to it. You think you are. And that's what I want to talk about today. I have noticed that people have commented a lot that they feel like not motivated. They feel like they don't want to move forward. They feel like, what I mean by that is like they get things done and they get work done. I'm not talking about something more than that. That's a different subject. I'm talking about moving forward, like, oh, I have to like get the laundry done. I have to, you know, make this appointment. I need to do this. I need to do that. Maybe I need to exercise. Maybe I need to like do some self-improvement, whatever. Maybe I need to be looking forward into expanding my career. And I feel like it's confusing because that is what we're used to doing. We're going, okay, so I'm not laid out on the floor, you know, I'm not like sitting here, just sitting on the floor going, I don't know where to go. It's not a natural disaster. There's, you know, not for everyone, I should say, that we are having natural disasters. But I'm saying for those of you who feel like, you know, things in my life are actually somewhat maintaining and I'm okay and I'm being taken care of. I'm saying to people who feel that way and kind of have that going on, I'm noticing they're still feeling like, I don't know why, but I just don't feel like I can lift my spirits. I don't feel like I can feel good for too long. And that is energy. And I want to talk about that. I want to talk about that energy and the collective energy amongst all of us is real. I really want you to understand that, because yes, I hear people say things like, I feel fortunate and I feel blessed and I don't want to complain because I have my family and me are taken care of and we're okay, but for some reason I don't feel okay, you know? And that is because for the first time, this is what I believe, we are going through something as a collective whole at the same time, consciously. We have always been going through things together at the same time. People have always been going through suffering and pain and torment and disappointment and sadness and happiness and joy and all of these things at the same time. We've all wanted the same things. We want to love. We want to be loved. We want our families to be safe. We want to be safe. We want to thrive. We want to feel accomplished. We want to feel like we're doing something that's meaningful in the world. We've all been on the same boat. But what has happened is through time, we've been on this large boat in this big sea, but we've been in these individual rooms, not seeing each other and not realizing that we're on the same boat. And the boat has just been capsized. Okay? Large boat, let's say. You know, we're talking gigantic. Just to give it an analogy. And we are now all in this ocean. Some of us have a raft, some of us have a tiny little boat, some of us are drowning, some of us are holding on to anything we can grab, and we are realizing this and we're all seeing it and feeling it at the same time. And for those of you who feel like you have a little safety, you know, raft underneath you and you feel fortunate for that, you may be not seeing it. And this is again on a kind of obviously analogy. This is on an energy level, that all of that's what's going on and around you is affecting you. So how do you feel energy? Most of the time people feel energy by not even noticing it. And what I mean by that is it is affecting you, you are feeling it, but you aren't consciously noticing this is happening to you. You get up, you have your coffee or tea or whatever, and you start your day and you do what you need to do, but something just feels off, something doesn't feel right. And yes, I can do lots of different videos, which I will, on the different levels of that. What I mean by that, I can do lots of different videos on, is this about your personal path? Is it someone else you're sensing? But what I'm talking about is a collective whole of energy that people are feeling together, and you're not used to it because this is the first time that everyone is consciously aware of what's going on globally at the same time. Due to technology, of course, this has given us the chance to know what's going on at the same time is one reason. The other reason is, honestly, things have gone to shit. And I'm just going to say it like it is. And that is reason why we feel that. So It's one thing most of the time when you have something going on in your life, you're like, I'm going to push through it. Maybe you lost your job. Let's just say on an average day, not an average day of 2020, on an average day on another year, you go through these things and you find a way to kind of lift your spirits. You may listen to music, you may talk to your friend, you may go for a jog, you may garden, and all of a sudden you feel lifted and you say, hey, you know, things might not be so bad. But the thing that's happening now is everywhere you look, it could be a neighbor, it could be a relative, it could be a friend, it's the news, it's social media. It's not blaming it on these things. These things are making us aware that there is no place that feels levity, because it isn't. We are about to go through a bit of a dark time, and that energy, and we're going through it, and I'm going to get to the light side of it. So those of you, if you're clicking off because it feels like a downer of what I'm saying, hold on, because we are going through a change. We are going through a shift. And if you want to click off, you can, but I'm just letting you know. We are going through this shift. The shift is now. The awakening is over. The wake up time and to be aware of things is over. The time we're going through now is the time of pushing forward. Now, I posted this on Instagram, and I'm going to explain this on here. I have always seen this vision of this sphere of light ball that the other realm has, and long ago, and I've talked about it on here before, I had this vision that the two worlds were going to collide, meaning the physical and the spiritual world were going to collide. And I feel that we are now in that, and what that means is that is manifested into a physical space. So in other words, I didn't understand it when I had this vision before. I didn't understand why I saw these colliding. I didn't know if the colliding was literally like colliding. But I understand now that what it means is that the spiritual realm has been wanting to push an energy of progression and moving forward. Now, we've always progressed and moved forward, thank God. But this is a big push. It's like the old way has to go and the new way has to rise. And when there's this big energy pushing, usually we feel that push and there's like a, okay, now we can kind of chill for a minute. And that's what we've been doing for hundreds and hundreds of years. Push, chill, push, chill. This is a push, push, push. There is no chill. And that is what you're feeling when you wake up. So I want to go over a couple of things. What I said about we're going to go through a couple of rough months. What I mean by that is we are going through this final push. And what I've seen in that other realm, every day I wake up and I do what is called a temperature, an energy temperature. Okay? And that's what I want to talk to you about, as well as talking to you about where I do see the energy is going to lift and things are going to lift. And I take a temperature of what is the energy like today, because it's been so heavy. And I've been practicing this professionally for 17 years. I have dedicated myself to this work. And I can tell you, as someone who's reading every day, who practices every day, it is hard for me. So I know it's hard for you to wake up every day and feel that energy and take the temperature and go, where is this at? And to feel heavy and maybe just a little bit heavier. Now, I know one person out there who I did a reading for last Thursday, where on that day I felt like a lift and I felt the temperature. And this is what I would recommend for you to do. You wake up and you feel, what does the energy feel like? It gives you a I want to say like a look on how the day is going to feel forward. That it may not just be just about you, which is what we tend to start to believe. And last Thursday I felt a lift. I knew it wasn't about me. I know there was a lift in the air. And I knew it wasn't going to last very long. And then we had some major news on Friday here in the United States. And it made sense that the lift came, and I knew the roller coaster was going to go back down. It was like zoom, zoom. And when you wake up, if you get a feeling of, okay, it feels like everything's a little off. My coffee spilled, I forgot to call someone, my computer's not working. Instead of feeling like, okay, something I'm doing wrong or everything's against me, you kind of go, it feels like the energy is a little off today. Have you ever had a time where you wear the perfect outfit, you do your hair, for those of you who like to do makeup, you do your makeup and you do all these type of things and you go, man, I had a really great day. It's almost like I kind of did everything in sync and I'm going to repeat that tomorrow. So I'm going to wear the same thing. I'm going to do the same steps. Doesn't work. And the reason why it doesn't work is because the energy is different. It's the same reason why you can't do the same thing from 20 years ago and say, I'm just going to copy what everything someone did and I'll have the same result. You don't, because there's the ingredient missing. It's that time and place and the frequency in the air. So when you wake up in the morning, instead of looking of how can I lift and make things all better, you just see where does the temperature lie, where is the energy, because when you do that, you're seeing what's going on in a global scale. You're like, okay, where is the temperature? Everybody is feeling something at the same time and it affects you. And the more sensitive you are, and that's pretty much everyone, by the way. So this isn't about, oh, I'm special and I'm more special than other people. Everyone is feeling it. Everyone, just not conscious of it. And being conscious of it is the key. Being conscious of it, what's as important. And you go, okay, I feel like there's something going on. And you then can look and see maybe on your phone what's up. And maybe you'll even see as the day unfolds, okay, I'm starting to understand why I felt this energy. Maybe things were a little off. Like I said, things are not lining up. Maybe it's just like nothing seems to be working at all. It's just all, and you kind of see that. Or maybe it's just heavy. And you just feel that heaviness and you're like, it's like mud that I'm pushing through. And that is the majority of what people are feeling. But you can sense it in the air before you even start your day. And it's real, guys. All the stuff that's happening that we're seeing everywhere you look, it almost looks like, even like if you try to go look at something, you know, entertaining, it's like got a darker, heavier tone. It doesn't feel like comfortable to go, well, I'm just going to go do some light stuff and joke around, because you know in the back of your mind there's an energy going around. The other way to guard it, to guard yourself from it, the way you guard yourself from it is you kind of forget the bubble, forget the golden light, look at it like a sphere, like a glass sphere, because you can observe and see everything that's going on in the world and everything going around you, but it is not getting in your own glass sphere. I think it has to be a little thicker, and it's just a visual. Obviously, these are all frequencies and energy we're talking about, but it's a visual of you want something thick around you. Make sure that you are doing whatever you do to cleanse. And I don't mean cleanse like a fun little cleanse. I mean where you have to let it go. Because when you're going through the world, it starts to stick to you. And you start to feel like you're dealing in, you know, thick tar, like from a volcano that just keeps erupting over and over and over again. And so you have to make sure you don't let it stick to you. Pay attention to the energy. Lastly, I want to say, we are going to move to a lighter time. I promise. I'm not promising like I just know everything. I just feel what I feel. And when I feel something different, I will let you know. But I am always checking daily. And I have been saying, if you follow me on Instagram, if you've had a reading from me, October, November, December is going to be rough. It's going to be a bumpy ride, so buckle up. It doesn't mean we can't push through it, but we are going through a global, I can say global too, like gobbling up all of this change. It just feels like it's being pushed at us. We are going through a global change. We are going through a shift. A shift is meaning that we are moving forward. And as a spiritual person, I can say the spiritual realm, the higher beings and beyond, are pushing for this to happen. As painful as it is, as difficult as it is, it has to happen because a new world has to emerge. You, millennials, Z generations, those of you, if you're seeing this, which may not be, you are part of it, but the other older generations, we are part of helping lead this and pushing this. We can't be stuck in our ways and be afraid for evolving, and that is where we're moving to, a true evolvement of not just how we're doing business or how we're doing work or how we're banking or how we're doing schools, but consciousness. I've always believed that none of those things, changing any of those things, would never matter if we don't have a true conscious change. And it's thick and it's painful, meaning we are pushing through a dark time to come out of it. And I do feel we will. But in the meantime, don't hide, don't hermit, face it, be a part of it, see it, smell it, taste it, be aware. And you can protect and guard yourself through this, but you have to admit it's affecting you. You're starting to feel it, and it's starting to have almost a layer on you. Don't let yourself get gobbled up in it. Now, I hope that helped. I know this was a little bit heavier of a video, but I have talked about this so many times with so many individuals that I just wanted to put this out, and I really think this is the time. I wanted to wait, and I always intuitively, literally check in and go, what should I talk about? How should I talk about it? I wanted to do something different, and I will, because of course we need levity and we need a little fun, but I'll save that for a little bit later in this month. Don't worry. Thank you guys so much. Follow yourself. Follow your inner voice. Don't follow anyone else, and I'll see you soon.